A brand new leak has exposed the genuine terror written on Sean Diddy's face behind bars, and it's connected to a dangerous secret he's feared for decades. For a while, the story was that he was enjoying prison life, drinking wine, and giving business advice. But this new footage tells a completely different story. He appears shaken, and the reason might come down to two names from the past that spell serious danger: Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. It's being reported now that Diddy could face a major threat inside from people connected to Tupac. A source put it bluntly, his life could be in jeopardy because many believe he was involved with what happened to Pac. The same people think he had a hand in Biggie's death. And these aren't just whispers from anywhere. They're coming from the heart of Brooklyn, where tensions from that era never fully dissolved. People think that he has something to do with Pac. People think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. The source stated, the location itself is a problem. The shadow of that infamous coast-to-coast feud still lingers in those streets. The murders of Tupac and Christopher Biggie Wallace remain the most haunting, unsolved mysteries in music history. For just as long, Sean Diddy has consistently denied any involvement in either tragedy, but a recent documentary series, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, has brought those denials back under a harsh spotlight. Several figures in that series made stunning claims. One alleged, "I think that Sean had a lot to do with the death of Tupac and he ushered Biggie to his death." That's Kirk Burrow, the co-founder of Bad Boy Records, speaking on camera. To understand why these accusations persist, you have to go back to November 30th, 1994. That night, Tupac was set to record a verse at Quad Studios in New York for an artist named Little Sean, who was affiliated with Diddy. Instead of a studio session, Tupac was ambushed, robbed, and shot 5 times in the lobby. He survived, but his trust in Diddy and Biggie evaporated instantly. In a later Vibe magazine interview, Tupac was asked directly if he was cryptic and heavy with implication. Only they could answer that question. He said, "I have proof, things that I can say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about." The wound from Quad Studios never healed. It only festered. Gene Deal, a former Bad Boy security guard, has provided explosive details. He claims Diddy was in the building that night not for music, but to keep tabs on Biggie. And while there, Gene alleges that a figure named Jimmy Henchman told Diddy that Tupac was going to be taught a lesson over a debt.
In an interview of him being there to spy on Big, Jimmy Henchman told him that they finna teach Pac a lesson. Because Pac had owed him some money. So that's why he was up in the studio and was coming to the studio. Pac owed him some money. He was gonna work it off and get some money from doing a song with Lil Sean. And that's what that was about. But Pac was talking greasy to Jimmy Henchman, and Jimmy Henchman wasn't the type of dude that you talk greasy to, allegedly. Unless you're 50 Cent.
So Diddy knew what was going to happen to Pac.
He knew Pac was about to deal with, yeah. He was there to see it. He was there to see it. He wasn't only there to see Big them. When Jimmy Henchman told him that, he was there to see what's going to happen to Pac. He was there for that. Because had he not been there for that, he would have went up there in the office. He would have went to the studio or the studio session with Big them. He would have went to that studio session with Big them. He knew what room Big them was in. He didn't do that. He was there to see what was going to happen to Pac after Jimmy told him. And that's factual.
So Diddy knew what was going to happen to Pac, Gene asserts. He was there to see it. This aligns with what Kirk Burrow has suggested about Diddy playing a behind-the-scenes role. The alleged motive, money and control. Gene points to financial paper trails.
Diddy played a part in that stuff, and everybody trying to say, lying, talking about half of it got paid, $500. I don't know. I know when I asked him about, we asked him, do we ask? No, we didn't ask him. I know when he showed us a check and he walked away after he showed us the check for the $1 million, You understand?
Kirk Burrows said he paid for people to drive out to Vegas, he mentions, alluding to the time around Tupac's final shooting. It's hard to hide $1 million. The Las Vegas shooting that killed Tupac in 1996 remained cold for decades. Then, in 2023, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested. In a bombshell 2009 interview that recently surfaced, Davis reportedly told police that Diddy was the one who ordered the hit, offering $1 million to get rid of Suge Knight and Tupac. A separate DEA report referenced an informant in 1997 telling a similar story, that Diddy hired the Southside Crips for the job. Diddy has never been charged, and police have stated he is not a suspect. Davis has pleaded not guilty, but if Diddy was entangled in the West Coast tragedy, what about Biggie's murder just 6 months later? The narrative from those close to Biggie paints a troubling picture. Kirk Burrows insists that Biggie did not want to go to Los Angeles that March, but that Diddy talked him into it. Biggie didn't want to go to LA, Burrows stated. He was talked into it. Gene Deal corroborates this, revealing that even Biggie's friend and DJ, Clark Kent, questioned why they were going out the night Biggie was killed. According to Gene, Biggie told Clark the plan was set up by Puffy. Most chillingly, Gene says he begged for more security that night and was denied. They refused to hire more security. He says, a decision that would have fatal consequences. Former LAPD detective Greg Kading, who investigated the murders, has noted that Diddy was notably uncooperative. He wasn't exactly cooperative, Kading said. From a law enforcement perspective, he was very unhelpful. Kading now suggests a reason. As we found out in time, he was complicit in one of them, and which would make sense why maybe he didn't cooperate in the other.